YouTube, Mike Walkerman, Mushroom Rangers. Today I'm going to show you how I do rye grain. So, let me sit you up here. Well, first, I have rye grain, just regular old rye grain in a bucket of water. I let it sit overnight. Actually, I boiled the water and then dumped it on the rye grain last night. The way I strain it is, I bought this little thing at Lowe's, or not at Lowe's, at Walmart. And all I did was took a drill, put a bunch of holes in it, and this is how it drains. This thing works really good when you use small amounts of rye grain, because as you can see, it can be poured very easily. It's got two handles on it. So the first thing I do after it's been sitting all night is I dump it and strain it. I used to use coffee grounds and gypsum and all kinds of stuff. But I just use regular water now. Give it one last rinse. Get all the funky smell out of here. And then the next thing I do, boiling hot water, and dump it all around, all over the grain. Then I just leave it sit in the sink here for a few minutes to let it drain off, and then I'll take it in the other room and let it steam off for 24 hours, and then pressure cook it tomorrow. You might need a well ventilated room because it does give off a kind of a smell, because it is basically fermented grain. So it'll have a funny smell. So, but that's not the only thing I'm going to show you. I know a lot of people, when they use jars, mason jars, they have these self-healing injection ports. These are good. I don't like using them. I have used them. I'm using them now because I got so many of them, because I thought that was the way to go. This is like, ooh, something fancy, something new. But the thing about it is, when you're using liquid culture, if there's liquid culture in here, when you turn it to the side and you try to draw it up, they'll leak out around these things, because they just pop right in and they pop right out, in and out, in and out. So they don't have a 100% seal. I don't know if you can see, once the first time you stab a needle through there, you kind of create a hole, right? And then as you keep using it, the hole gets slightly bigger, so it's not technically self-healing. So I don't know if you can see. So I switched back to using RTV. All I did was melted a little small hole in there, about 20. It does have a hole in the roof, the silo. My kid's watching Silo Demolition. He likes it. But anyways, you melt a hole in the top, twice the size of a needle tip. And what this does is, when you turn this upside down, it won't leak. Because as you can see, I put a dab on the inside and I put a dab on the outside. And I just wet my fingers down and then pat it down on each side and then let it sit overnight. And these things are awesome because when you stab it in there, it doesn't, you can't even tell that I even stabbed it through there because it doesn't make a hole like the other ones, these blue ones. And like I said, they leak, so I don't like using these, but I have to use them because I have a lot of them and I don't want to throw them away. And especially with liquid culture, if you get it leaking, it leaks in around the seal, and then if you haven't used all your liquid culture, what happens is there'll be a nice sticky mess on there because obviously it's just sugar water, and then which will attract, you know, obviously contaminations, flies, whatever. So if you're just starting out, these freezer lids, when you go out and buy your mason jars, they'll come with the metal band and the metal bit, the lid. So once you get a case of mason jars, go pick up these. These are great. One thing about these is if you're going to use the blue ones, you can use them, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just letting you know from experience that they leak. When you go to try to drill these are very hard to drill. As soon as you get the drill in there, as you can see, it's not a perfect circle. It cracks. I don't know if you can see that it's cracked. That's just from using the drill. So that's why that's another reason why I don't like using these blue ones, because you have to drill the hole. Now if you're using RTV, all you have to do is get a torch and a drill bit, heat the torch up, and then melt through it. Way easier. The only thing you have to worry about is burning yourself. I hope you don't burn yourself. So that's a tip. And then the last thing is the update. An update on what I got going on here. Got some Black Kings, which are almost fully colonized. I had one bag. I mean, I jacked it up as inoculant or a rye grain or whatever, and that thing inoculated or fully colonized within a week. So that was fast. So now I got some Rishis here. Just gonna do some Rishis and then make some tinctures and maybe some what's that stuff called? Mead. Make some mead here. Got more grain spawn, lion's mane, blue oyster, black pearl, Pathfinder. I did the needle biopsy with the king oyster, but it got infected. So the only way I knew it got infected is I tried it out on a petri dish and there was trichoderma in it. So on update here, as you can see, I got some of the Black Kings in here. That's the Pathfinder. I'm still trying to figure the Pathfinder out. It seems to elude me. I'm doing everything right that the guy said that I should do. It's an oyster, what the guy said, so and it doesn't look like that. He told me that's pretty much what it's supposed to look like. And I initiated it, let's see, probably about 2 weeks ago, and still no pinning or nothing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I got some beaches here. I like growing beaches. The only problem with beaches is they're slow. Like, they're slow as... So, they're not a very good... They yield a lot, but they're so slow. And I finally got some king blue oysters popping up. Little tiny ones here. I mean, I like the hibernation technique. However, it does affect the blocks a little bit. It makes them bounce back a little bit slower. So, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. And I didn't have this building ready, or this structure ready, because where I lived at before, it was a smaller house, so we moved to a bigger house, and I took over the spare bedroom. Yep. And then this weekend, I got some projects to do. I have to clean this fan, because it's been sucking all the spores out, and it's getting pretty dirty. And I have to clean the other fan out. And I'll be bringing you the latest video on the steam sterilizer. It's done. It just had to cure. I did have to put a little bit of Lexon or caulking around some of the heating element and the ball valve drain or whatever. So I'm going to test it out today and see if it leaks, and then make a video of it when it's fully completed. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, please comment. I haven't gotten any comments or questions. And keep it fungi and blessed be.